Switch statements and tuples. Now I've been informed that I'm pronouncing tuples incorrectly. Before I was saying tuples, it is pronounced tuples. So think about the word multiple, tuples. So just going forward, we're going to call them tuples. Okay, so if you remember right, a tuple is a way for you to store multiple values inside of one variable or a constant. So here we have a tuple variable named doginfo, and all this tuple is a int and a string, right? So the number 8 and the string Fido. Awesome. So some of the special things that you can do with tuples and switch statements is kind of matching the multiple terms. So here we just say switch, the name of the tuple doginfo, and below are our cases. And remember, you have cases saying if doginfo matches this case, do the code below it. And also, if none of the cases work, then we have this kind of default value that's going to happen. So when we look at our first statement, it says, is the first value an 8? And yes, that's correct. And is the second value in the tuple string called Fido? And yes, it is. So you can see the output on the right here from Playground that's correct. If we change the age to something else like 7, you can see it doesn't match this case, and it doesn't match this case either. So it just moves to the default. Now, what happens if we do something like moving this to 7? That still is not a valid case, because even though the first ints are correct, the strings here are not correct. So Mark and Fido are not correct. Just like in this above one, Fido and Fido match up, but the ints do not match up. So those are the basics. To step a little bit further in, something cool you can do is kind of ignore values inside of the tuple. So let's say I want a case for dogs that are age 7, and I don't care what their name is. So for example, if I put 7 here, do the comma to specify the next value in the tuple. If I do an underscore here, that means just completely ignore the second value in the tuple. So you can see if I put a string here like he's age 7, that's what the Playground is outputting. So basically what we're saying here is I don't care about the second value in this tuple, just check whether the case here is valid. And again, you can do this for any spot. You could do it for both. That's kind of foolish. That's essentially the same as a default. But you can see here if I do Fido, then yeah, that works out as well. And there's also cases you'll see where multiple cases are valid. So for example, if we move this one here, so this case, 7 and Fido matches exactly up with the tuple, so it's valid, and this code gets executed. But if you look down here, there's another case where we're saying ignore the first, and we just want the second string to be Fido. This is a valid case as well. So why isn't it executing this code? Well, with switch statements, Swift goes, and if ever a case statement is valid, it executes the code below it. So for example, here it says, all right, this is valid, execute the code, and it completely jumps out of the switch statement. So a lot of cool things you can do with tuples inside of switch statements. And again, you can do a range of values. So I really like this about Swift. I think it's really cool. So we could say, any number 1 through 10, and that becomes a valid case. So just a little cool trick.